on its own axis? I'm not sure about that. I think it does. No, the Earth turns, the moon doesn't. That's why we get a dark side of the moon all of the time, because it doesn't revolve on its own axis. It's just inert, and it goes around the Earth, and so we don't know the dark side, because only the light side is facing us all of the time. And they call it on the dark side, because that's the side away from the Earth. And that's, by the way, much colder, supposedly. I know, I'm not a big expert on this. But you're saying, you seem to know. You want to explain that further? No, okay, well, there you go. That's the best explanation I can give you for that. But the months are based on that. And we know that the solar calendar is 365 days. Well, if you multiply 28, I don't know, what do you get for 12 months? Something like 310 or something like that? Oh, God, without a computer, you guys are going to lose me. 28 times 12. 2 8s, 6, 5, 2 8, 6, 13, 3, okay, 336. So we're 30 days short or so. So what the Western guys, to make the two match up, have intercalculated some 30 extra days in there. So that's why our months are not 28 days, some are 30, some are 31. And then they chucked in another thing to make it all work out, because it turns out the solar calendar doesn't even agree with the days. What are the days? The days are how the Earth turns, I know that much, how the Earth turns on its axis. I think, yeah. The seasons are how the Earth goes around the sun, further or closer. But the days are the Earth's spin on its own axis, which is why it just keeps coming up again every 24 hours. The Earth is spinning at that speed. You all know this, right? I hope you do. Otherwise, you're not much different than cavemen and women. I hope you've got that far into the modern universe. Anyway, think about it. That's what it is. So it turns out that the other thing, the 365, the solar thing, is in fact not exactly 365 spin days. It's about 365 and a quarter spin days. That's why we have what in the Western calendar? Leap year, to intercalculate an extra day in there so that we can make up for the I'm totally confused. From the quarter of a day that gets lost every 365 days, or gets added to every. You got it? So that in case you're wondering, that's what leap year is. And so we make the lunar calendar as far as we can, but we still want to keep 12. Why we want to keep 12, I don't know. That's pretty astrological and goes along with ancient views of things. Everyone seems to want to have 12 months. Don't ask me why. Why not just have 13 months? Let's see, 13, 28, 3 to 24.
364.
Yeah, that'd work out a lot better, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd work out. Now we could just intercalculate a day and a quarter or something. Yeah, let's change it. You'll never change it. Well, that's why the Muslim calendar is racing ahead of ours. Every century it gains about 3 more years. Because if you figure it out, each year is only 330. So in a Western 100 years, there's 103, approximately 103 Muslim years. I see your brains are like, slowing down behind me. Hey, I'm old. You guys are young. This should be easy for you. You just had all this in high school. My brain is petrifying, like Peter. So I don't see why you're puzzled. You should be jumping ahead of me like a spring lamb. Anyway, think about it. I think you'll see what we're talking about. So the Muslim calendar actually, so that means that probably it goes back into itself. If I'm not sure about all this. Maybe every 30 years. God, I'm not sure if I got this right, but anyway, the pilgrimage will be on the same date again. In other words, it takes maybe 30 years to go through the whole cycle of the solar year to go back to where it was in the beginning. Otherwise, it'll be in the middle of March, the end of March, middle of April, end of April, and it'll keep on slipping until it gets back to whatever it was, wherever you started from. the beginning of January or middle of January or end of December or whatever. It'll just slip through those western months. You got that? You see that? That's why when you say, well, when's the pilgrimage? God, it's summertime now. It used to be in the winter. How come? Well, that's because it slips. And the Muslims have to deal with this, by the way. When they sent ambassadors out to northern climates, particularly like Sweden, where you have Midsummer's Night, and you were not supposed to eat during the day, you'd starve up in Sweden because the sun never really sets. And in the pilgrimage, not the pilgrimage, the fast period, that is, not the pilgrimage, but the fast